Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Amanda.
and this is I'm Your Mother Now podcast.
Season 2, episode 1.
Yay, we did it.
We
We
did it.
finally we came back.
We did. So, Sarah, tell me, did you
Yeah.
watch the Super Bowl halftime show or are you inexplicably racist?
Topical. So, I have a groundbreaking news for you
Ooh, okay.
and groundbreaking news for me.
Ooh, fresh off the press.
It turns out, Amanda.
Oh, God, I'm
it-
going to have to put my volume up for this.
yeah, put your volume up. So, it turns out you and I are both half Puerto Rican.
Oh,
Oh, gotcha, suckers.
got a secret for everyone. Got a secret. It was almost so
Um,
secret from us,
we
you know?
almost didn't know.
We almost didn't know. We almost know next to nothing.
It's the hard-hitting question that every man who owns a gas station has asked us in our life. Where are you
Where
from? Where are
are
you
you
from?
from? And I'm like, Connecticut. And you're
Connecticut.
like, nah, not like
No.
that. Like, where are
Where are
your
you
parents
from?
from? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
back in the day when we used to wear the gray contacts, which I did for
Yes.
like a decade, have like gray
Mm-hmm.
eyes, and like
Mm-hmm.
gas station attendants could not get enough of that. All right. Like literally the meme. Are you gonna tell me I'm beautiful, or do I have to go to the gas station?
No, it's real.
Yeah.
Just a
All right.
little fill up and a little harassment. We love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's also Friday the 13th. I'm just gonna throw that
Yeah,
out there.
which is actually not bad luck because here's the theme that I think is the theme of life now. Everything that we've been told is bad luck is only bad luck because it's associated with women. Okay? So
Wait, are
if
you
it's
gonna
a
tell me the origin of Friday the 13th?
that well, so Friday the 13th is actually not like Freddy Krueger type of stuff. And I honestly should have read up on this a little bit because I have like the most Vegas cliff notes, but all I know is that the 13th is actually symbolic of divine feminine. Okay? It is
Okay.
not bad luck. And everything in this world, it turns out, right, that is of feminine nature, right, that has origins in feminine power,
Mm-hmm.
is turned around and turned into something gross and disgusting because we don't want to be tapping into that because the men are scared. So
No, men are scared.
celebrate, celebrate. And you know what? I will do some digging on that and you do some digging. And if someone's listening live and you actually know the origin of Friday the 13th,
And you want
real
to drop it in
story,
the
and you
notes.
want to drop it in the notes, like drop it in the comments here while
And
we're
we'll
live.
circle back to it.
We will
Yeah.
circle back. Yeah. So, anyway, here's another question for you. Besides, are you racist? How, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your feminine rage?
Rage.
Rage. Hmm. Like, is it a
Um,
gentle simmer?
so I feel like I've been that guy. Is it Lemony Schnicket's the series Unfortunate Events? Do you know of this? Does it sound
Okay.
familiar? That's
I
kind of
didn't
how
watch
I
it.
okay,
So,
I don't know. I just assume that it's a series of unfortunate events, and that's what I'm thinking of was my life over the past couple of weeks, right?
okay.
Um, so my rage has been just kind of simmering because I'm trying not to lose it all the time on
Sure.
something or
Sure.
someone, right?
Yes.
I've got a 4-year-old running around the house, who is like an encyclopedia and has his emotional intelligence is far exceeding um, adults in the room. Yet
Yeah.
he's not ready to go to kindergarten, they said.
He's too ready. He's never going to be ready for that.
They said that he was not ready to go to kindergarten. And I was like, the reason why that is one of my unfortunate events is not because I think that he wouldn't benefit from a year of preschool. It's more so that I was, for the past almost 5 years, looking forward to September when I don't have to pay for daycare. And now preschool costs more than daycare. So I've
And
just been
daycare's
letting that,
better. So,
I've just been letting that kind of like simmer. Um, my dogs have been so annoying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past couple of weeks, one of them, the one that's not a dachshund, decided that he was potentially going to have IVDD, which is, as everyone knows, if you've been listening, my actual dachshund had this, and I had to pay a boatload of money to get his surgery. He's actually doing great. He's staring at me right now. And I thought I was going to have to go through that again. So that was like very stressful. Not to mention the fact that I've been carrying two dogs up and down the freaking stairs, making sure
Yeah.
that this one doesn't jump on and off things. And then in the midst of all of this, all of the water in both sinks in my master just started bubbling up. And that is not yet resolved. So that means that I don't have a sink in my bathroom. And that means more than you think, okay? It really does. Sharing a bathroom with
Okay.
a 4-year-old is like not fun. Okay, there's a lot of dinosaurs everywhere and he's very nosy. I can't even go in there and brush my teeth without him asking me what I'm doing.
Girl,
So
are you okay? What's happening?
I'm okay
Mm-hmm.
because I have to be, right? We
Right,
gotta be.
but that I wasn't even talking about this rage. I was talking about your feminine rage, your collective feminine rage.
I understand, but what I'm telling you is context for why I need to keep things at a certain level. Otherwise, I'm going to take it out on someone else that doesn't deserve it. Even
Or do
though,
they? Or do they?
even though a couple of them are semi-deserving. Anyway, Sarah, I have a feeling that you want to tell me about your feminine rage.
Well, I just think we need to talk about it
She
because
screams.
I just think we need to talk about it because nothing's okay. Nothing's okay. And yet we're supposed to do okay things like worry about our sinks and raise our kids and make
Yeah.
dinner and put clothes on.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, sorry about the
Like,
dinner.
why
But
would you bring that up?
I don't know because I was just thinking about something that makes me be like, why am I doing this? Just making dinner. But really, really,
Why is my life this way?
like
Ugh.
but this is I don't really have an answer for anybody about any of these things, but I think it's important as we have a podcast and this is the life we're living that we address it because I don't feel good about like just pretending everything's fine, but at the same time, we have to not go insane.
Yes. My
But
point. Yeah.
I think that if I were to distill what my rage actually is right now, because I have been thinking about it and
Good.
thinking about it for other people all weeks long.
True.
Um,
True.
what it is this sudden realization that what you felt secretly inside of you that made you feel kind of unsafe in this world is actually the loudest voice in the room. It's like we talked about just now going to the gas station and the guys being like, "Oh, where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from?" Like these small little harassments that women everywhere understand and don't even really talk about because we just accept them, right?
Yep.
The amount of women who are harassed and assaulted who don't tell anybody anything because they're like, why bother? No one's going to listen. And we're like, of course they would listen. Why didn't you say something? And it's like, no, actually, it turns out they don't. Even when you're
Yeah.
screaming in their face, and talking about these emails that have been coming out, yeah, the content of them is horrific and it's just terrible. But have we even stopped to consider the fact that actual live people, living women, have been saying these things happened to them for years? We have actual living, breathing people. And yet we're still looking at these emails being like, well, I don't know. Like that, I don't know. We shouldn't just jump to, it's like, when do we jump to any fucking conclusions about anything? So it just kind of like, there's this feeling of like, who's a safe person now? Who's safe, right?
Yeah.
And so I would say that's what we need to be figuring out in our lives now. Like, who in your
Mm-hmm.
community is safe for you? Who of your friends is safe for you? Did you find out some
Yeah.
friends aren't safe for you? Because I don't think you should be friends with them anymore if they're not safe for you. Just gonna say it, right? Like, it's a
Yeah.
mass purging of understanding what the hell is going on here with everybody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that's I would say my rage is at a solid 12.
Out of a scale of 1 to 10?
Yes, but because it's so high, it's becoming like a really sexy part of my personality.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on.
Yeah. So what that looks like, right, is that when I see a man and he says something to me, I'm going to smile at him and say, "What's it like these days to be a white man in central Pennsylvania?" And then based on what he responds to me, I will either leave this area or not, right? And I'm not talking about like, oh, like to date somebody. No, I just mean to be around because you like there's not an answer here because here's the thing. Oh, I'm actually really angry. Do you feel it? I'm like pretty
Oh,
mad right now. Oh, I just got mad. Sorry.
ooh.
So what I'm saying is like we are like, "Oh, he's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man." What are we talking about? What is a good man? Somebody who isn't actively assaulting a woman?
Sarah, I'm blinded by your sexuality right now. This is just so hot, you know?
Should
The
I show
men
my
aren't gonna
boobs?
listen if you approach it this way,
Yeah,
okay? They're
softly.
just gonna be like, whatever you say, you angry little minx. Ow,
Ooh, I
meow.
love it. I love it when you yell at me,
Yeah.
mommy.
But maybe you should calm down.
Oh, yeah. Have you tried relaxing?
Have you
Have you
tried?
tried not worrying about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you tried making me dinner? Thank you.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah,
anyway, so yeah, so that's going on.
no, that is reminding me when you're saying what's it like to be a white man in central Pennsylvania is reminding me of the Super Bowl, which is reminding me of why representation really matters. And it's interesting how many white people are mad about other representation.
Really
I'll give you
mad.
I'll give you an example. I work in a corporate sphere, right? And we were
Right.
doing like some sort of game. Like this was around COVID when it was supposed to be fun. We were doing things that were virtual, right? We were trying to come up with stuff. And so everyone sent like a picture of them as a baby. And then everyone had to guess who the baby was. Okay.
Okay.
And this is why, diversity matters, right? Because me and the one other woman of color were dying when they got to our baby pictures, and everyone's like, I wonder who that is. That's definitely not Tim. That's
I
not
don't see
Julie.
color. I don't see color. That's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. And I also had like a
Oh
kind of
shit,
like
Amanda.
I know, as I was thinking about this, as I was getting ready to talk to you and about representation and all of that, and um, our father had a 1 hour photo in the 90s, right? Like super hot, go in there, get your really inappropriate pictures developed by a 10-year-old because that
Yeah,
was
we were
just like kind
developing
of,
them.
yeah,
We
we
saw what you
were.
were doing.
We saw it on the negatives, and then we saw it when we were color correcting it, and then we saw them come down the
Hmm?
thing and put them in, and then smiled as we handed them to you. Wow, people are crazy. But
We know.
anyhow, there came a point where he was going to have
Commercial.
a commercial recorded like for cable, which was like a big deal, and
Hmm.
he wanted to have a family walking into the 1 hour photo.
Yes.
And it was actually a deal that he decided not to choose us to do that.
Yeah, not his family.
He
Who
didn't
did he
choose
choose,
his
Amanda?
family,
Who
but
did he
he
choose?
he also didn't do like a casting call, right? He didn't get like actors for this. He literally just picked our white friends,
Yes.
two boys, two white boys,
Two white boys and a white
and
woman.
and a white woman. Um, and yeah, that whole thing just kind of lives rent free in my head, turns out. I can still see it. I still remember what they were wearing. I must have watched it many times.
I know. And as you're saying it, I'm being brought to a different location for the 1 hour photo. Do you remember that other location? It was like a smaller. It was still in Norwalk. I'm so confused now.
That
Anyway.
was actually another company.
Oh, what was
Speaking of coming
that?
from a family of entrepreneurs, at one point we that had three separate businesses going. He had Photo One, he had Norwest, and he had Slide Effects.
Norwest. What the hell
Yeah.
was Norwest?
It was the worst one because there was so little for me to do there, right? Because you spend a lot of
Right.
time at the office. There was nothing for me to do there. There was nothing fun. I would just go
What
sit
did
there.
one do there, though? Okay,
Something
we don't
niche.
care. It
Something
doesn't
niche. Yeah, I
matter.
don't know. Yeah.
Regardless, yeah, no, no. So yeah, they definitely hired white people to be there to
Yeah.
be the family, and
Mm-hmm.
we as children felt the injustice of that. We didn't necessarily have the words, but boy, did we understand the feeling because it was like we're not good enough to be representing this company, even though our father owns it.
Our father was like, I want to have a family walking into one of our photo, but not my own.
Not these bitches who are literally here all the time.
And then they're surprised that we're sitting here talking about them on a podcast.
I
We have so
mean,
much material. Like, what the heck? Yeah.
that
Anyhow.
hurt our feelings
Yeah.
and gave us complexes.
Yeah.
I haven't honestly unpacked that one. So thanks for thanks for bringing that one. I always like to
Hmm.
find new stuff and like,
I mean,
sometimes
well,
yeah.
I say this often, and I think back to childhood memories that are like, oh, yeah, that was my childhood. And now, as an adult and a mother, I look back and I'm like,
Ooh. She does the head tilt. She's like,
yeah.
"Uh-oh." But this actually brings up, circling back to the Super Bowl and are you racist and everything and immigrants, right? Coming from a family of immigrants, even though Puerto Rico is part of the United States of America. Something you should know is Puerto Ricans can't actually vote.
I did know that.
But don't worry, they can go to war. Anyway, so um, coming from a family of immigrants, and at that, during that generation, like our parents' generation, our parents did not want us to be anything but white. Like
Mm,
that was the whole point, is to be here and assimilate into quote unquote white culture, whatever that means, right? And but at the same time did like literally taught us nothing about where they came from.
Oh, I hate to say this to you, Sarah, but it's not that they didn't. You just didn't ask. Okay, you weren't asking the right questions
Right.
when
I
you were
wasn't
three,
asking the
four,
right
five.
questions.
You were really living in your own world. Okay.
Selfishly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Selfishly just enjoying the things that they did for you and
Hmm.
not asking the
But
right questions.
But I don't think this is a unique experience for children of immigrants,
No,
because
I don't think so.
I mean, and you wonder why? Why would you wonder why? Like here, like don't you see? Right? Like
Yeah.
it was a whole thing. But the difference is our parents were actually able to accomplish something. Right? They were actually able to do that. They were actually able to start their own businesses and to
Yeah.
grow those businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, though, because of the emphasis on being white, but not actually being white, because here's the thing, you can act as white as you want, you can make as much money as you want. You aren't, though. And
Yeah.
at some point in your life, some white person is going to turn around and look at you and be like, hey, by the way, you're not. And then as a person who's growing up, not identifying as anything, right? The closest
Mm-hmm.
thing like you and I were identifying to growing up was white, right?
Mm-hmm.
It gives you this very unique otherness of not belonging anywhere. And that's
Yep.
shitty. It's really
It
shitty.
is. Yeah.
And so when the Super Bowl happened, and that, first of all, that, I mean, that deserves its whole episode, just like going through that. And I certainly think part of the reason a lot of people had such a problem with that is because it was so layered and nuanced and intelligent. I think if it had just
Imagine.
been like booty shaking with no message, it would have gone over a lot better. But, watching that kind of made me sad, Amanda, because I realized that like this is half of my DNA that I have no visceral connection to.
Yeah.
And that's kind of sad.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. So then I have a question for you.
Hmm.
As first generation parents, because that's what we
Is
are,
that what we
right?
are?
We are,
Okay.
right? Because we're first generation here.
I
We're
always
born
forget
here.
how that works,
Okay.
but yes, yeah,
Yeah, because when you say that, it's you think of like older people.
I know.
Yeah, but no, it's not. So as first generation parents, what can we do to be different and be better?
Well,
Is that the struggle that we grapple with?
every day, because here's the thing. At this point, right, I want to learn about the cultures we came from,
Okay.
but we don't have any help in that, right? So we have to kind of like go and do that and whatever. I don't really know I don't really know what to do with my kids about that
Okay.
because I'm in my early 40s now. My kids are what, 12 and 14. We have never had any culture that's different from mainstream white culture in our household.
And is it okay, so is it about culture or traditions that come with the culture, right? Because I feel like the traditions are tied to it, right? To your culture. The things that you do that represent your culture are what makes it different, right? So
Okay.
it's I know that for us, we want to learn about, our put that back in so you can hear me.
Got it.
We want to learn, but then also what do we do in our home that our kids will then carry on because, those traditions will then in turn become like our culture, which is first gen, half half, and now, our United Nations children, basically.
Well,
So,
our like very melting pot kind of kids, right?
yeah, I call them United Nations babies, but yes.
Yeah. So
You
I
can
don't know,
melt
man.
them in a pot if you'd like.
Oh. But the other part of it is that along with not teaching us about like their specific cultures, right? I correct me if I'm wrong, universe, but I don't think either of our parents grew up with strong cultural influences from their families either,
Mm-mm. I don't
right?
think so.
So they didn't come together with traditions to perpetuate, and they did not create any for us.
Well, I mean, if you think about, okay, so think about this, like the male culture, like in India, those things would be happening and organized around the men by the women, right? So
In every
our father
culture, but
wouldn't
yes.
necessarily come here and be like, these are the things that I'm going to do for my culture, because he would need an Indian woman to kick that off, and then he would just be present for that, right?
Oof, that's a really deep statement.
Is it?
Yeah, because what you're basically saying is that it's the women who actually carry on the culture, who carry on the tradition, and the men just exist around it.
The men were the ones who are off in war fighting because they can't use their words.
They go less these days, unfortunately.
Did you ever watch that show Godless, where all the men are in the mines and the mine collapse and the town, like it's like a town in the, oh my gosh.
Oh, wait, the Western.
Yeah, as the Western. I was
I
saying Midwest. I'm like,
loved
that was
that
very
show.
Western. And
I loved that show.
all the men passed in the mine, and the whole
Yes,
town was being run by
by
women. If
women.
anyone hasn't
Yes.
seen that, you
It's
should
so
watch
good.
that.
It's
It was
so good.
good. Yeah, it was good. Um,
Historically, whenever anything has happened like that, where all the men go to the war and like, oh no, like what will we do? The women are
what do
fine
you mean? What's a widow's peak? What are you talking about? What do you mean? We were just standing by the windows waiting for them to come back.
doing
Like
nothing.
Nicole Kidman.
But yeah, the yearning, right?
Yeah.
But basically, like we have examples in our recent history of women having to take over
Yeah.
World War II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women having to take over because the men were at war, and we
Mm-hmm.
had no issues with that. The issues that happened were when the men came back and were like, "Get out of here." And
Well,
the women were
yeah,
like, "Oh,
it's like whenever you go on a girls' trip, and we've talked about it with the cooler pack, right? That someone took the freezer pack and put it in the freezer so that it would be frozen for the person when they left, and that everyone just kind of does the things that need to get done.
without
Um,
even fighting about it."
yeah.
Listen, you don't have to tell me. I have no argument here. But kind of back to what you were saying, like, I think what is happening is that we can't really go back to an old tradition because we don't have one. We did not learn how to create specific traditions in families because our parents didn't do it and didn't know how to do it. So we didn't learn
Hmm.
in that way. I don't have muscle memory. You know how hard I tried when I was first married and having kids to create actual traditions for them, but having no idea how to do it and what to model it after and having like no like mother figure to kind of guide me in what to do. It was so overwhelming and
Yeah.
isolating. And,
Hmm.
it's not that my husband at the time wasn't supportive about that, actually, but he also wasn't going to jump in and carry it on either. I would have to do
No,
everything,
everything. And that's
everything.
also like that was a very hard time for you to be home with two kids all the time was absolute insanity and then try to do special things for them on top of it.
But
Like, and I
no,
think that it
yeah.
also lends itself to overthinking a little bit because we're like, oh, like what are these big traditions and what am I going to do? And it's like, just do something nice together and then just do it each time, right?
I mean, yes. And, the other thing is, I saw a reel the other day of a woman talking about parenting and how we're so hard on ourselves, right?
Hmm.
And she said, hey, your kids want to come home after school. Your kids come home from school and have their nervous systems relax when they get in your house. They want to go
Hmm.
hang out in their rooms and eat their snacks and play games with their friends. They're
Yeah.
not they're okay. And she's like, if
Yeah.
you can provide that for your kids, if that's how your kids feel about home, you've already
Hmm.
won because so many kids get off that bus and have absolute sickness in their bodies about what they're going to
Yeah.
find in their homes, right? They have
Hmm.
no
Yeah.
safe place to go. And I think that's
Yep.
a really important thing too, especially in the climate we're now living. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
we're so hard on ourselves, right? Like, listen to us talking. We're like, oh my God, like we don't have traditions. What will the children do? But it's like, but they're safe. They are
Yeah.
fed, they're safe, they're stressed about literally nothing.
Yeah. They could use
Okay.
a little bit of stress
They could
about
use
things
a little bit of
sometimes.
stress.
So what I'm hearing is that a regulated nervous system is the new
Tradition.
tradition that we should
I
strive
actually love
for.
that. A regulated nervous system and a sense of safety and peace,
Hmm.
and recognizing what that even feels like, right?
Yeah. Well, you can't have one without the other, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. No, okay. I'm
Hmm.
picking up what we're putting down and I like that for us because also why are we also hard on each other? Like women, we're just hard on ourselves. We should just be hard on men now.
I know. It's funny. Sometimes I'll think I have my deepest thoughts in the shower.
Sure.
Um, and I will be like, wow, I don't really do too much. Like, I don't do a lot. Meanwhile, I'm like scrubbing my body from head to toe to make sure that I'm not crusty and don't smell to anyone or in my house. I'm like, dur, 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 dur. And I'm like,
We do a lot, Amanda.
we do a lot. We do a lot. The fact that I don't like I work and then I sometimes like yesterday it was like 5 o'clock on the dot and I was finishing a call. No, that wasn't yesterday. Finishing a call and everyone gets home and I just like get up and then I don't sit down for like 3.5 hours. I'm just
Ugh.
walking around, just like picking things up, like changing the TV, yada yada yada. But you know what? Everyone is happy.
Are you?
Yeah, but I need to sit down more, honestly.
Yeah,
No,
sit
but then I
down
sit all
more.
day. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm
it's a
just a
different kind of
busy.
sitting. Like I think we're like in really different phases of life.
Yeah, we really are.
Because I'm a soft girl now, and my kids just they do literally come home, eat all the food I bought, and leave me alone.
I see it. I see it. I'm in the trenches of like
Yes,
littles.
yes,
And for some reason my dogs are like I feel like I have three kids.
I know you
And
do.
um and I see that you're like, yeah, I'm chilling. That's like whenever my friends' kids hit like I mean, double digits, forget about it. And then they start having a new set of problems that I'm like, I'll take my toddler problems for now because I don't want that set of problems.
Enjoy
Um,
enjoy the problems you have, and then you can enjoy the problems that come later.
Yeah, like I told you, one day I'm gonna laugh about feeling away that, Lucas didn't make it into kindergarten because his birthday is 2 days past the cutoff and they felt he wasn't ready.
Not today. However, someday you will laugh. And also, but they also say things like, "Oh, you're gonna miss this time because they're gonna be older and yada yada." And I have to honestly say, to the peanut gallery who says those things, respectfully, just like no, like maybe you feel that way, but
Well,
like
I
I
no, I
don't.
gotta disagree with you there because I do feel like I'm gonna miss my baby right now. I want him to stay this age forever. He's so sweet. I don't want him to be
Well, I
anything
don't think that's
else.
what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
There,
That you're gonna
like
miss these
the
times of stress?
well, that when your kid's 12, you're gonna miss that they're not two anymore. Are you saying you will miss
Never
that they're not
two.
two?
Don't
Oh, I'm
don't take him
sorry.
to two.
Four. Four.
Don't take him to two. Take him to
Four.
like where they have a little bit more autonomy. I'm sure 5 is gonna be great. 6 is gonna be great. They're still gonna be sweet. Gonna
Every
want to cuddle
age
you.
has its pluses and minuses, is what
It's
I'm
true.
saying.
It's true. Yeah.
And again, everybody is different, and I'm just not a kid person. So it was not easy for me, and I didn't want to sit in it. And like, do I miss sometimes when I look at pictures of my little babies? You know what I miss? Or what I feel when I see like I sent you that cute picture of Justin with his
Yeah.
fat little stupid face. What I wish is that during that time when my children were that cute, I had enough support around me where I could actually have enjoyed them because
Yeah.
I didn't have any support, right? No
Yeah, but
support.
I think yeah. I mean, you had a different it was all different. I mean, I work and I'm like working is a break from parenting. I can't imagine
Yeah.
being home all day because there's so much stress you put on yourself when you're home with your kid because you're like they should be learning, they should be doing this. Like I'm responsible for that. Like if I want to take a break and put the TV on, am I bad? What does everyone say about that? To live with that
Yeah.
stress, like you need to I like to put him, Lucas has done so many things in daycare that he would not do for me. Like
Of course.
like a 360 cup. It's like I don't know how I'm going to tell him how to drink out of this after a bottle, right? Like you have to put your mouth on the side and sip it. One
Right.
day, sent it to daycare and he came back drinking from it. And I'm like, "You see?
Yeah, well, I mean, I do see, and so that's the only thing I would say that I wish had been different is that I had had a little bit of extra bandwidth to actually enjoy the
Yeah, you needed a
cuteness.
little autonomy. Yeah, you needed to be in your body a little bit and have things outside of just your kids. Um, but society looks down on you for that. They're like,
You do.
no, like
They're like, no,
that's the
but you're not
best job you
doing
could ever
it.
have.
Yeah,
And
but
it's like,
it's not even society. It's my literal partner, right? Is at work making the money and I'm at home like doing nothing that matters, but I should just be grateful that I get to be home, right? Which is what our mother said to me.
that's
And
yes, that's kind of what I'm getting at too. Is
yeah.
like,
And so it's like a
yeah,
gift and a blessing. And it is, I mean, I don't know. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to metric, but I think what it is, and it comes down to is we shouldn't be policing each other as women. If it feels good
mm-hmm,
for you to be a stay-at-home mom, then I want you to do that. If it
yeah,
doesn't feel good for you, I would like for you not to do that and not to feel bad about it. It's
yeah,
kind of like
exactly.
whatever you want to wear, I want you to wear that. I don't want to police you about it. That feminism is
Mm-mm.
not about policing each other in the highest form of being a feminist. Feminism is allowing for us all to choose what we want to do and be and not be judged or crucified for it.
True.
So if it wasn't for me, okay, but it could have, that's the other thing. Like it could have been for me if I had a fucking community to help me. Might have been more fun, right? But
I don't know.
regardless, I
I
mean,
don't know.
I think it would have been easier, Amanda, if I
No,
had,
yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, but it's still hard. Like you got the winters where
yeah,
you're stuck inside and then get sick, and then it's like, when does the day end?
it doesn't. It's just one day. And the nights also, because like you don't get to sleep, especially when they're little, because you're always up, regardless of even if they're not up, because you're up,
Hmm.
you know, and
Yeah,
now you have
because
your
you can't
dogs who
just
do that for
you
you.
can't. We're not just men who can just get back in bed and close our eyes and be snoring, right? You have to fall back asleep after that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm.
mm.
Well, listen, sis, I think we've covered a fair amount for our first episode. We didn't
I'm
do
glad
the
to be
bit.
back
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. It's nice. It's been a while. I mean, it's been like two
since I've
weeks.
spoken to you.
Imagine, I was thinking last night, I was like, what if we did like a bit where we didn't talk for a week. And then I was like, that would be so terrible. How can I not talk to my sister for a week?
You wouldn't even know what to do. You would just be like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not know what to do. I would have to start recording voice notes.
Lucas would be like, where's Sissa?
Yeah, yeah. I was like, wow, that is a really, really, really bad idea.
We
Actually,
won't do
Clyde
that.
is now growling because of
Okay.
it. So I think on that note,
Farewell. We'll be back next time.
yeah, I hope you have a nice Valentine's Day weekend for whatever that means for you
Whatever
out
that means
there.
for you.
Whatever it means. Yeah. And
Um, fuck the patriarchy.
yeah. And Jack Russell Whippet dogs. All right,
All right,
sis.
guys. See you
All
next
right.
time. Have a great one. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to I'm Your Mother Now podcast, an Amala Moon production. If you loved today's episode, make sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and if I've done the RSS feed properly, wherever you get your pods. You can follow us on Instagram at IYMN_podcast to watch us live on Friday mornings and catch the full episodes on our YouTube channel, I'm Your Mother Now podcast. We'd love if you could share this with a friend who'd vibe with the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps more people to find us. We'll see you next week. Bye.